What's up, you guys? Behind me is an army of seedling mango trees that's going to revolutionize everything in my food forest. And this is the start of a brand new series regarding growing mango trees here in Southern California. And I want to show you how to open a mango husk and prepare it for planting. And I'm going to show you the things that I'm doing. I'm going to show you my soil mix. I'm going to be showing you the flow of what I'm doing here after it's been planted and after it's been sprouted, and the plan for all of these seedlings that we have growing on. So stay tuned, guys. And I also want to show you what I'm doing to make these seedlings grow a lot faster here in SoCal. All right, ideally, to make it easier for you, once you eat your mango, dry them up, right? Just make sure you label them. Now, this is just, I already planted a majority of my name varieties. This is just a canned seedling that I got from the grocery store, and that's the only thing that I have left to show you. But here you could see that if you dry it, it makes it a lot easier to be able to cut. Now, I love using this particular tool. I highly recommend this. Go check out my description for the link to be able to get this particular tool, and I'll show you why this is my favorite. So look how sharp and easy it is. And it's a lot easier when it's dry, guys. You don't have that issue with slippage. And some mangoes, the seed is really close to the husk, and you got to be very careful cutting your seeds. And so I like to start right there at the stem end and just kind of go slowly, just to make sure you're not cutting into that seedling. And when you open this up, you can kind of see how much space, like airspace, between the seed and the husk. And you can kind of go slow here, just like this, right? And when it's dry, it's really easy. So sometimes you could just go like this and open it like you would a Spam can, just like that. If you've ever eaten Spam, you know what I'm talking about. Just like that. See how easy that is? No slippage. Okay, you got to be very careful. You can open a seed husk when it's still fresh and wet, but it's just a lot safer if you let this dry. So what I do to let it dry, just air dry it. Make sure that you put labels on it, right? And then just like maybe twice a day, just flip it and it'll dry up on you. If it's outside, it's much faster. So there you go, guys, right here. So we want to always label these right there. And you want to label it with a real permanent marker, guys, right there. That's a permanent marker. Don't use the regular permanent marker because it's going to disappear. It's going to get erased. So make sure you use these types of markers. And here is a solution that I've already made. And so I'm going to put it down there. So what kind of solution this is? This is chlorine-free. And if you don't have chlorine-free water, okay, like rainwater or reverse osmosis water, or water that's just free from chlorine, you can get vitamin C, guys. Just a little bit of vitamin C, like literally like even like half a teaspoon in a 5-gallon bucket will remove that chlorine and chloramine. And the reason why you want to do that is because we are inoculating all of this water with mycorrhiza. You could use any brand. I got this great white here. This is mycorrhiza. Here's another mycorrhiza brand. I'm also putting just a little bit of a rooting hormone. I don't know if it really works, but it's been working for me, guys. And then here's azos. This is beneficial bacteria. Okay, so just put it in there, shake it up. I have this sea kelp, and this one was powder and it got wet. And it's still good and viable. And the reason why you want to use that is because of the hormones, like the growth hormones that thing has. And that's it. Leave this in here for a few hours and we're ready to plant. All right, here is my soil mix, and it's very simple, guys. Very simple. This is none other than half sand and half native soil. Now you can see this has some aggregation in it already. This is little bit clay. This is like a clayish loam product. It has a little bit of decomposed granite in it already, okay? And I get it from here behind this retainer wall because I'm excavating this because I have a secret future project that I'll be showing you if once I have the time to do it. So anyways, here it is. This is what it looks like right there. Really nice aggregation. Now if you're very clay, maybe do 75% sand and 25% native soil. You can also use majority sand or DG. You can also use a little bit of peat moss and perlite if you want to go that route. But for me, all of these trees are going to go in the ground at some point. I don't care how heavy it is because this product is pretty heavy. But I think that adding the native sand just helps the tree. If it can handle this, it'll be able to handle everything once I put it in the ground. And so that's what I'm using here, guys. All right, make sure you get yourself a chair, a little stool to prevent back pain, guys. Back pain sucks. It really does. And this is what we're gonna do. All right, now, if you have individual seedlings that are really important, I would use these 1 gallon pots. But because these are just rootstocks, this is just cans from the store, I'm just gonna put them all together. There. Oh, this little small shovel is really helpful, guys. I love it. It's kind of hard always to do things while videotaping. So please excuse the lack of coordination. All right, so I'm gonna be using this water to water it later, a little bit later. Don't throw away this water, guys. This is valuable. That's all the beneficial microbes. And so there you go. Right there. Oh, the grocery store. And this particular one is $4.959. And this is a Marathon brand of, I believe this is a Kent, could be a Tommy, could be a Keith, but it was nasty. So it's just a rootstock, guys, just a rootstock. Okay. Ooh, I might not have enough space. Right there. We'll be separating this once they start sprouting. Just like that. We'll put this up like that. It's covered enough. And then over here we have our compost. This is homemade compost right here. And I'll be making a video on how I make this compost. There. We just put it on top, just like that. There's finished and unfinished part of the compost. I just put it all in there. Not too much. Okay. Give it a good water. Now you don't have to, but this water that's coming out of this hose is filtered. We got a boogie filter. Just because, you know, we do regenerative practices and we want to make sure that We are doing all we can to help the microbiology in the soil, so that these seedlings will have a great start. Okay, so that's that. And then to further add to the soil retention, we have this brown gold right here. Don't throw away your leaves, guys. Leaves are the perfect mulch for everything. There. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in the greenhouse. Almost forgot one step, guys. Gotta label these. So these are grocery cans. 7, 16, 25. And that is the date today. This is very important, guys, labeling your stuff, because you might think you'll be able to remember, but when you have an army like this, forget about it. All right, let me get this strap off. I'm not gonna talk about the grafts today, but here's a seedling that we planted, I believe January. Or could be February or April. I forgot to, oh, there we go. Forgot the label. Ooh, that actually is a lemon meringue, guys. This was planted last month. Look at that. Look at that amount of growth when you plant your seeds at the right time and you keep it in a greenhouse. And look at this. Okay. These are all the seedlings, and in this particular area, this one was just planted just recently. I'm going to show you another place that already has germinated seeds, and here's a pickering right there that just popped out. Let's see if there's anything else in here. What's up, Jojo? Hey, what up, buddy? Here's another one right here. I believe that's a Ataulfo. Yes, this is where I'm keeping all my Ataulfos, right there. And here's one that's germinating. Right, yeah, that one is a Southern Blush. That looks like a Manila. Let's see if there's anything else. Jojo, do you see anything? You see anything? Here's another Ataulfo. This one right here is another Ataulfo from a lot of the grocery mangoes that we ate earlier this year, likely April of this year. And let me show you some other stuff next door. Look at that. All right, so I know it's a mess here. I mean, it is what it is, guys. When you're doing a lot of stuff, it's just crazy. Now this right here is the Makeshift Greenhouse technology. So we get a roll of 12-foot by 75-foot greenhouse plastic that's really thick. This is, I believe, a 6 mil thick plastic, and we use a bunch of these right here, a bunch of these clips, and we just use these structures that's already in place. We also use rope. See this? See that rope right here, and rebar to help us create these makeshift greenhouses on the fly. And these are temporary because we need a nice environment for all of these seedlings to just want to germinate. And here we have these thermometers right here that help us create a nice environment without cooking these seeds. So we want the temps to be above 60 on the low side, and we want to get the highs into the 80s and low 90s as possible, and just retain a lot of the moisture without getting too crazy with the moisture levels. So here they are, guys. Here's some graphs, but we're not here to talk about graphs. Here are the seedlings that just recently germinated. Here's sweet tarts right there. You got a cac. We got a Cushman. I am excited for this Timor. Hasn't germinated yet. We have Super Alfonsos. We have orange sherbets, carries, a bunch of polys and monoembryonic seeds here. And we want this to grow fast. Look at this growth, guys, on this thing. This is, I believe, that's a maha that was planted last month. Look at that. A lot of these. Look at that. 6-2 planted. Carry, this was just last month. And a lot of these seedlings that we just planted earlier this month right here, like this Cushman. Oh, not, this is not a Cushman. This is a, what is Shirley. So this is what we did. We ran out of 1 gallon pots. So we just divided it into 2 and put seed on each side on some of these, because we are running out of space or running out of pots, and we need to get more. In fact, I need to get a lot of these 5-gallon pots because I'm going to be up potting these pretty soon. And here are seedlings. I think they're calling this like stone grafts. You see how little, okay, these seedlings are. So these are really tiny, very tiny seeds. They're like 3 to 4 months old, and I just grafted varieties right on it. Here's an orange sherbet, and some of these actually, when they sprouted, the leaves for some reason got cut off by whatever, either an insect or whatnot, and they didn't have any more nodes to be able to push new growth. So instead of like putting it to waste, we use it as a rootstock for stone graft. And here's another one. This is a Glen. See, planted just last month, and look at that growth, guys. And you're talking about stone grafts. This right here, this lemon meringue right here, was a stone graft similar to this. This was done back in, what was that, September of last year. And look at that growth. Okay, so so those are the seeds, guys. There's an army of seedlings, and I am so happy and excited for what's gonna happen and what's going to come out of this seedling project. And I want to show you another makeshift greenhouse. So this is the makeshift greenhouse technology. You can see the rebar. You could see how we kind of conjoined 2 different sections together using just these clips. You can see that, you know, at night we can close these real easily, and in the mornings, like around 9 to 11 o'clock in the morning, once the temperature start to rise here around the 80s, we can, you know, open these windows or doors up for venting, and we can open it up even more if we know it's gonna be really hot. Very easily we can have multiple doors, right? Really easy, guys. Yeah. Hard with one hand, guys. Really hard. One hand. There you go. Just like that. And you can see here we have the seedlings in this particular area that are pretty much ready for almost full sun. I'm gonna put a little bit of 50% shade just in the middle, so there's some dynamic shading here during the day. And this is how it looks like. See how I kind of wrap it around here? I use multiple sections. So you can see this one I still had to finish. You see the multiple sections, and I just kind of wrapped it together up there, just like that, just to retain this heat. And look at this Maha Chinook right here, looking fantastic. It's got really nice fruit. This one we kept only one because we want this to grow. Ideally we wanted to remove that, but I just had to have one, guys. Just to show to my wife that you know, there's potential for these trees. And look at this right here. You can see we use structures like ropes, right? So you see the rope, and we just connected it to the trees like that. Connected this rope here, and it's really easy and it's really cheap to make. And you can get a 75-foot roll of the 6 mil greenhouse plastic that I'm gonna put a link on the description for, I believe, $100 bucks, $120 for a 75-foot roll by 12 feet. And then you can get a bunch of these clips, get yourself some rebar. If you don't have rebar, I mean, you can just use any stakes, but you know, these fit these rebars perfectly. They can't really fit these thicker posts. And if you have a problem with that, you can just use rope as well, so you can clip on it. Like, see right here, if it's doing that too much, you can put a rope right in the middle and right in the bottom and just start clipping them to give it more support. And so we have our seedling making station here, and we're putting it inside there or right here for the valuable seedlings. Once they come out, they come back out here, they get up potted to a bigger pot. We'll be up potting it to a 5-gallon, and then they're gonna go into the greenhouse here for a little bit more, and eventually we remove part of this shade. And once they're ready for full sun, they come over here, or we can just put dynamic shading right in the middle, so they don't get full sun all the day. They just get them just for like maybe half of the day. I am really excited at the potential results of this whole entire system that I have going on. Hopefully you learned something, and if you're interested in the next episode, click here.